I've never been down here.
I've been down here about 3 times before.
I've just never made it down this far.
Get some food.
Oh, that's where the backwash comes in at. It's supposed to. So this is where the backwash, where you were explaining on this side?
This is the bottom of the filter.
Okay.
And Wayne may think a lot better about how it comes in, but as I recall, this is the piping coming out of the bottom of your filter. Right?
Okay.
Finished water comes out of here, goes into your clear well, and from the clear well it's pumped to the system.
Okay.
And in backwash water, they pump it basically in reverse. Cause it to fluff up, immediately fluffs up, flushes all the stuff out of it, and let it settle and start running.
Okay.
I guess this is your backwash pump over here.
Oh no, we're backwards. Out there.
Out there in the basin too? What is this one right here? That's the normal one.
Yeah, I don't think it's the yellow backwards out there in the pump.
I think they're not using it anymore.
No. It's out there in the pump, right?
This plant has a rated capacity. You may be able to produce water that's decent, faster than what you're permitted for, but you have to still need your permit.
Yeah.
And you're permitted to filter 694
694 gallons per minute.
through all 3 filters. At one time, they were trying to run 850 or 900 through it and not work as many hours. Cut down labor.
Oh.
Can't do that.
And the other thing is, the plant is specifically designed for certain limitations.
Yeah.
And that's why you got the 694. If you're doing more than that, then there's a high possibility that your plant is not operating properly. The water's not getting treated properly.
And that's 694, how,
Yeah.
a minute?
694 gallons a minute through all 3 filters when all 3 filters are operating. There's also a limitation on the gallons per minute per square foot on filter. So if they cut this one off, these have to be reduced to that number.
Okay.
You can't just push everything through.
Right.
Like one of these tanks. You couldn't all go through just one.
So you were standing there figuring how they did that by looking what we were doing and
Yep.
together.
This is the flow from this filter. This is the flow through that one, and this is the flow through the far one. So there's actually 3 here.
Okay. And then you just add them up.
And it better be below that.
So right now you're looking at, see, 350, 150. So you're looking at 550, or 508 right there. And then you add another 163 for that. So
72, 76. I guess we too much in our head.
508.
I need
You're
to
about,
carry a
you're about
calculator.
670, 680, somewhere in there.
So we're
you're
still
okay.
under.
You're
Okay.
Well, good, great.
You're
Yeah,
good.
that's good. Stop.
So everything, all the sewer in the city comes through that. That's a little flow meter. Partial rear. Flow meter. I don't know before. So that's your inflow flow meter. That's a grit chamber and stuff down there. It's not working. It's not working. What happens to all the tubes? Everything's working right. This is pumped from here. The solids in the bottom are pumped from here into the digester. The water that's on top of the solids goes to the river. Right? The digester, if you put some solids in that digester, it's always going to get
And that's the digester?
You got a good learner to do. And he has to have the pumps and the capability of moving this sludge over there. Or what happens, everything just starts filling up with sludge and it starts going to the river, which is not a good day.
Oh, no.
What'll initially, like right here,
Looks
you
good
see
over
those
car fires.
cranks right
I'll
there?
be honest.
Yeah.
What should, be happening is the water's coming in and it's flowing through this. And this is initial your flow meter. This is where you register to see how much flow that the treatment plant is taking in, okay?
Okay.
From that point, it goes into that well over there. And you see the two things on the end?
Yeah.
What should be, those, they're not working.
Right. I
What
can
should
see
be
that.
going on, they should be cranking, and what they do is they initially remove the big solids.
Like a conveyor belt, basically.
Yes, pretty much. And then once that's happened, it's cycled through, then it comes in through here.
Okay.
You have what's called bacteria, pretty much.
Yeah.
The bacteria eats all the stuff, and it's supposed to go through these chambers, and eventually all the stuff it settles out.
Yeah.
You get all that stuff out. The bacteria digest everything, and then they produce good bacteria. Pretty
Right.
much. So by the time you get here, your water is clear. Okay.
Yeah.
This should be chocolate.
And it's black.
This is septic.
Yeah.
Okay. So clearly,
Yeah.
not.
It's not what it's.
And down towards Heights, but no meters running. I mean, we're low on meters.
Now, y'all have the valve systems in place where you can shut down certain portions of the distribution system?
Every leak that we've been on since I've been here, it's worked on under pressure.
That's what I'm saying. Do y'all have them in place where you can shut a portion of the distribution center and focus all the water going through one section and look for your leaks that way? And then shut it down again and come back and fix them.
Well,
You see what I'm saying? So you're still getting your water out, but it's only going to be shut down for a minimum time so you can find where your leaks
there's
are.
hardly any valves in the ground to do that. Most of the valves in the ground are on these newer extensions. But as far as in
The
town,
old stuff.
yeah. I mean, they.
If the valve had been worked in 10 years, it probably won't work.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, you know, and we push valve exercise programs, and that's just simply, you got your valves identified, numbered on your distribution map, people log them, you go out once or twice a year, you just turn them, just keep them usable. And that's why we push that sort of thing, but anyway, there's a lot to it. And I've even been told that some of the new lines they put in, they left the old lines in place. So you've got an old line sitting here with a new line next to it. The leak could be in the old line, could be in the new line, could be anywhere.
Isn't that what happened on up there on Pelton Street?
Elton Street?
And at the corner of Pelton, where Mr. Williams' property is.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's two fire hydrants at the
Yeah,
end.
what the leak was
hydrants.
from the old line that was still left there. Is what I don't know, but
I'm not sure because we've not actually dug up the pipe yet.
Yeah.
You know.
So I mean, we got a lot of that. It's not something you just fix instantly.
This continues
It's
like.
gonna be some work. Yep, it's gonna be some work before you get all those problems fixed.
y'all go ahead. I'm following
If
along.
you've got 80%, you really had 80% water loss, then you're costing you twice as much to make water than you do.
They are, because we had some problems with that pump last week. When they worked on it, it sent them over in here.
You know, I've seen lagoons and oxidation ditches where you come over here, you can see the bottom of those filters. I've never seen with these trickling filters. I mean, you can work yourself to death and get a decent effluent, but they're real specific in the range that they'll work, and if you put too much water to them, they don't work. So, you know, I don't like them.
But we need a good rain.
Got what you got, yeah.
We need a good rain to get that flow up to wash the metal a bit.
Supposed to rain maybe tonight.
I thought it was going to rain this morning, but it.
Look like it.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, this is the water going out to the river. You take the chlorine out of it, that little pipe right there, I'm assuming is the sulfur dioxide, if I remember right.
Yeah, it is.
And that removes the chlorine before it goes to the river. So that's your water going to the river. You can see where it's shallow, it's not real
Yeah.
bad. It's got some TSS in it,
Yeah.
but it's not real bad.
Gary, I think they're doing a good job there.
Usually they ain't even no pump at all. It's right here. Like I said, that pump over there messed up last week. And we had to have CL and them replace them, and they messed up. They didn't flood over or nothing like that, but they messed up. And then when we started them back up, he pumped the solids off the bottom of it. He put it on hand and let it pump all the way down and soak that stuff over in here.
your
I
rates
don't know
still
what-
broke in the primary, or they working now?
They're broke.
Rates still broke?
You ain't gonna be able to keep things on them till you get them pumps replaced in the base front that's bad. Once you do that, then you can replace them and they'll stay together. We went in there and fixed them 4 or 5 times within 3 months.
They just build up, solid builds up, and then just lock up.
Well, they're dry rotted, and then if you ain't removing the solids off like you're supposed to, then it just keeps pressure. And see, right now, OSHA won't let us go down in there and work if we want to.
Yeah, they will.
Not till they get everything legal.
So I was gonna say, they'll let you do it if you get your training and your equipment. They'll
I
let you
started
do
to
it.
say, well, how's it gonna get fixed if you
No,
can't
they'll
get
let
down
you do
there?
it. Well, you gotta have your harnesses, you gotta have your training. and
We
you
got
gotta-
a company in town that does that training.
Or you can contract it to somebody to do it,
Yeah.
whichever one you choose. But what should be happening, like you talked about, the rates in the primary are not working. The rates move the sludge from whatever area it falls out to where the pumps are.
Yeah.
So that they can grab it and move it out. If the rates don't work, it just fills up. The pumps will pull out from a small area and it'll make a little cone shape right down through the solid. That's when it do it.
Okay.
And it will pull out there. That fills up, goes septic, just makes a mess. This one, these drying beds are where your sludge should ultimately end up. The pump, the digester on here, they fill them full, they lay there and dry, with the water, and then they clean them out, take them to landfill, whatever you're doing with them, and then fill them up again. That's how you get rid of the solid that comes in the plant.
Okay.
It's not working. It's not working.
Now we got that working good enough that we done about maybe half of it.
So, when was that?
Probably 6 months ago. That's why you got all them weeds growing in, because it's cleaned
Fertilizer.
out.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, fertilizer.
Because see, it was cleaned out just like the other two over us.
When they got rid of that contaminated stuff, cleaned it out. But anyway, that's something that he really needs to get fixed, or whenever he needs to pump it, you can pump it over here, this is plugged up or something, keep the pump sludge to it.
Pretty much solids are gonna eventually get into the rest of the
Yeah, they
system.
just fill up and come out.
You're right here, you're not gonna have enough time for everything to filter itself out, and you're gonna blow your permit limit.
But see, what we're doing now, we're having to spend a lot of time recircling all this from all 3 of these clarifiers back to the headwork.
To try to keep it. from
Just to
coming
keep it from spilling over in here
Right.
to keep this good.
And really and truly, you know, some of the plants that I've seen, what you want, I mean, it looks clear coming out here, but you really want to be able to see the bottom.
Yeah.
So, this isn't awful. I've seen a lot worse.
out. It'll probably meet the permit.
But you've seen a lot
But you
better.
don't get any flags for it. I mean,
You'll be right there on the, you'll be,
Clean both of these out then.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see the sludge on the bottom of the
Yeah.
pit. Some days when they couldn't get it cleaned out for the valves or whatever, it was probably within 3 feet maybe. Of the surface or something.
Yeah, it's up there pretty good.
Well, that takes away all your settling time, it's full of sludge. So they have got that done. You've got most sides done, that's right.
Old Wayne Chris come up with the idea to take that housing off.
And they still exist. Now you can actually open them up, right, and do like you need to do. Yeah. Yeah, see what was happening, all this was filling with the sludge. Tube settlers, all those little tubes there are there, and a lot of them are inclined.
They're at a 60-degree
Yeah.
angle, so when the particles come up, it catches them
Hit
so
it,
they fall back
slide
down.
back down. And they force the water to use the whole surface area instead of short circuit.
okay.
When you let those cover up solid and you've got like 4 or 5 holes, all the water's coming through, it defeats the whole purpose. Because
Right.
it just has to come up those holes. So you get high velocities, you get nothing. I mean, it just defeats the purpose of tube settling.
So
Are you
everything
talking
goes
about
on
where
top of your filter.
the water is spilling over
Now,
the,
those weirs, see the surface of that stuff?
yeah,
Those things are down, what, 5 feet maybe or something like that. They're little
Okay.
plastic tubes and they stick down in there. And that's,
long.
yeah,
okay,
and they're at an angle.
all right.
So when that flock, if it doesn't settle out here, it starts up through there. And if it drops, it hits that bottom of the edge of that tube and it follows it back down to the bottom.
Okay,
You get clear water coming out over the weir.
Okay.
You get good clear water to your filters.
Okay,
That means you don't blind off your filters, and you don't have to backwash filters every 6 hours or something.
okay.
And
Gotcha.
why is that important? Every time you backwash filters, you use how much water?
Well, 1 month used 800,000 gallons.
Backwash.
I think last month was a little over 500 some thousand gallons.
Yeah.
And each wash would use what, 10,000, 20,000?
You know, I've never.
This is Carolyn Elliott. She's another council
I'm Carol Haas.
person.
Nice to meet you.
Carrie.
So you don't want to backwash your filters the more than you have to, because all that water you're sending the lagoon down the river. So you're paying to treat it, chemicals, labor, all this stuff, but yet you're just sending it to the river. You get nothing out of it.
Okay,
So you want to keep your water quality on top of your filters as good as you can get it.
okay.
I have seen plants that run a week without backwashing. And I've seen plants that were backwashing every 6 hours. Which one would you rather do?
Yeah,
And I'd say here, when it was up, carrying over bad, you were backwashing ready.
Daily, yeah.
Daily. Where are you guys at right now?
Well, I don't really know how much they're backwashing now. I'm just one of the operators will be able to tell you that.
You just have to look and see how often it's been.
But they're not having to wash them as frequently.
And you
Yeah,
can
that
tell.
made a big difference.
so that part has improved then?
It's improved.
Okay,
And like I say, when he was talking about these valves, they're not completely repaired, but at least he can get them open now and let this water out, because he has to drain these things to get the sludge out.
okay.
So at least he's got it.
Just having difficulty getting them closed. See,
So
that's
if you can't get them closed, then you're losing water all the time
Yeah.
out of the plant.
these shafts, there's spots in them that it's just about gone. They're just so rusty.
It's routine maintenance stuff
Yeah,
that should have been done over the years. And after a while, it puts you shut you down. It's like not change oil in your car for 10 years, you know. Motor's gonna blow up.
yep.
Same thing. Except it's a valve or it's a flocculator or something else.
Carol,
they're
can I
all
tell your
good,
last
all
name
done.
again?
See,
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're swell.
Got the other.
And I'm sorry, can you tell me your last name again as well?
Barrett,
It is working.
How do you, B-A-R-E-T-T?
2 R's and 2 T's.
Okay,
Spray
thank
pump may
you.
not work right, but it worked okay.
Yeah, working fine. We had to
Like Santa Claus
New
taking
package.
names and shaving his brow.
a couple of years now.
So is this your progress report?
Hopefully everybody will be on the
Or
nice list
response
this
to
year.
my NOV?
Saves me a lot of work.
I'm good.
No, we didn't come to
This
ask
is my
questions, we just come to
responsibility
observe
that you
and see what.
Hey, yeah, that's, if y'all have questions, please ask.
Well, really.
We can't.
We can't as council members because there's 2 of us here now.
Unless it's just a very general
Yeah.
question that doesn't apply to what we do as a council, so. If you were to ask us questions about what the council would think, we couldn't respond, so. Because we're only 2 pieces of the pie, so.
How many's on y'all's council? Can you answer that?
6.
6. That's a good number, yeah.
So they did get the panel fixed, we knew that, and so they did replace the packing in the pump, so both high surface pumps are now working.
Correct.
The reason I was fussing about that is that you have 2 pumps that send water to your system. One of them was down and non-operational.
Right,
If the other one became non-operational, the whole city would be without water
right,
to that fixed.
yeah,
That's why I get ill about stuff like that.
yeah.
And believe me, they would get ill with you whenever they didn't have water. So both of those are the.
Well, I'd be justified in saying, you wouldn't be the only one, it would be council too. I can say that.
Okay, so that's good. The whole thing working.
Excavator ran the other day. They did what they could out of the
Y'all done some
lagoon.
more dipping? I thought it looked like you might have get some more out.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna make a basic inspection out of this too.
That's fine.
I'll note that.
Yeah, they dropped that level. Probably a foot below the top of that discharge pipe.
I did tell them that I was
Really big
recording,
excavator that could reach all the way across.
but I
they
can't
could've got more, but they were
put it
afraid of blowing out our apartment.
for my purposes. I can't put it anywhere or anything.
Okay.
So it's more like for notes.
Yeah, no, you don't need to.
Yeah.
Can that be used
The
as
sludge can be used in field. You need
That's
to
kind of
make
like
sure
having
it's
a private
permitted
council
for it.
meeting, you shouldn't be
They call it
putting stuff
beneficial
like that.
reuse.
You know what I'm saying?
And you can
Public has a right to know,
give it
but
away.
Yeah,
on
but
this
you
one,
just tell
this
them
isn't a
not-
meeting,
not
so I'm
in
not
that
gonna
way.
do it.
that right?
I think you have to go through the Department Division of Waste Management. You need to look in your records to make sure it's not already been done.
Okay.
Maybe I can. I mean, I'll look in your AI and see. But the sludge, if it's approved, can be used for fill. Or whatever. If I'm not mistaken. So, but you've got to get the application. You've got to get it approved. If you do that, you don't have to take it to the landfill. Some folks take it to the landfill anyway because they don't want their stuff scattered around the community.
Right.
So that's the city's decision about what risk or liability or whatever they want to take. If they feel like it is safe to use the giveaway program, because the state will give you permission to do it, but if it goes south, they'll say it's still your responsibility.
Right.
That's one thing with the state. They can tell you anything, but if something goes south,
Right. It's still the city's responsibility. Okay.
I mean, that's just honest.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Okay. I took one at the factory when I did the TLCs Tuesday.
Okay.
But you wanted to have compare, since I'm the chief operator that does a weekend thing now, where I'm sampling. I got a sample of them up there too. The same day we got them.
Now, okay. So, all right.
Ooh, it's hot.
Tell Julie to tell switch.
I'll tell you.
Julie.
Not yet. No, I know I'm gonna have to do an alternate status again.
She approved the alternate staffing plan that he had, and since he's moved people around, he probably needs to contact her
Oh, did you
again
do
and
it
tell her.
again?
Well, I didn't. It was by their choice.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Just
every
need to
time
tell
you
them.
do,
Yeah, anytime you change
And
she
that.
ask-
approves
and
those. I
actually,
think that's protocol.
From my point of view, it's probably better that way. Because you do have the certified operator on the weekend that's there, class 3, and you've got a certified class 3 operator here during the day. You've got less time if there's nobody that's class 3 here. So I think it's better. I mean, you still want Nick, I'd like to see Wayne get some certification.
Yeah.
But I think the way he's got it now, actually, she'll probably like it better. Be my guess. Just a note. I think they got it pretty well
I
lined
think
up.
that's good. The backwash lagoon was taken care of.
Yeah. He's actually dipped it twice. This is the first time I've looked at that, I believe. You dipped it once, raised the pipe, then you dipped it again lately. So,
Yeah, it's full. Before we clean these basins out.
yeah.
I mean,
there's
it
so
will-
much sludge.
Yeah.
And you'll have to remind me of this, you know that.
I know.
I'll look in your file and see if it shows that you've got an active giveaway on file. If you don't, I'll help you find out how to get that done.
I do it the right way.
Yeah. I know that Kaywood's got one.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I can't remember. They take it. There's some guy up there on one of the hills that's got a yard or something he wants to build. They take it up there and build his yard. You get it approved for beneficial reuse, you can do that. All right, staffing plan. Pouring room, we'll look at it. Let's see if I can remember what else that I fussed about.
I know she mentioned that written flushing program, and
Yeah.
I mean, we do have that as part of the O&M
You've
manual.
already done that as part of the agreed order, right? And if you been exceeding your MGD withdrawal rate lately, or we'll look at an MOR or something. Raw flow meter. I think I've mixed this one mixed up. It's a different bunch. I got 2 inspections in my hand, 2 different plants. That's what the problem is. Let's go.
Ready?
Let's go look at something else.
Alright.
They got them cleaned out. Operate. You got it where you can clean it out as you need it. They'll have a flocculator. I said you got it where you can clean it out.
Yeah.
It ain't fixed completely, but you got it where you can clean it out. Yes. Approved to get it fixed. They're gonna do that and have that done by next Friday. It's the plan. What about your next?
Still not got it, but that's on the list to get.
So you got to spec that out, or is Bob's gonna do it?
Well,
Or buy one independent, put it in?
Well, I was trying to get a shaft for it, but I don't know if it was CL talking that, maybe the gearbox is probably damaged. But I'll just have to replace the whole thing.
So that we're looking at that, if
Flash
you're looking at
mixer.
your valves here, that really
Yeah.
need to be replaced as
Yeah,
well.
they need to be fixed. And then, you know, in the broad scheme of things too, you'll want to get back into, you don't have telemetry on any tanks other than the Indian Hills, so you're still looking at trying to get your targets put back on your tanks. We call them targets, level indicators. I mean, your goal in life would be if you get everything fixed, get the audits you need done to where you can get some funding if there's any out there. The goal is to get everything lined out to where you're eligible for funding, because you're not eligible now, so they tell me. Because you don't have your audits in place, you don't have
And
everything
you're
in place.
exceeding your
Water loss.
Your water loss is so high that
Yeah.
they would never.
They won't fund it.
Right.
And actually, Public Service Commission, in most cases I've seen, if your water loss exceeds 15%, they won't give you the aid.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I guess I can't ask this question. So you're saying if you can show that you fixed this and your water loss is down, that there is funding out
There could be
Is that
some
what
funding
you-
out there.
There's lots of.
I mean,
funding.
That just makes light bulbs
They
better,
don't,
you know?
there's not the grants that
Yeah,
used to be
I
there.
know, I
mean,
know.
they're not just passing
Yeah.
money out, but there are options
Yeah.
that you can get some money. Will it be free money? Maybe not. Maybe
Yeah.
it's a partial payback or something like that. I don't know. But now I know there's three things you gotta have. You gotta have the water loss. You gotta have the audits in place, and you gotta have somebody at the district meeting up there, or the ad board every time they meet,
Yep.
pushing your agenda. If you're not there, nobody else cares. Sorry.
Our projects are.
Nobody else cares.
Oh, I know. This isn't going anywhere.
That's true.
I promise.
I mean,
I realize
I'm
that.
just telling
I
you
know
the
that.
truth. If
You-
you've
you
got,
got to-
if you've got 10
You got to
systems
be in
sitting
their
there,
face to know for them to know you're even there.
you got pool money.
I know that.
You got
So-
pool money.
Yeah.
You got 10 systems wanted. If 5 of them are there and 5 of them are not, guess which 5 gets put at the top of the list?
Exactly.
5 of them that's working their mouth.
That's the ones that deserves it. The
I'm
ones
just
that
telling you
works
the way it
for
is.
But the way,
Really?
okay, let me see if the research I've done on grants for water, etc. Let me make sure I've got this clear in my head. We have to meet the certain criteria. We can't just go in and apply and not be up to
They
the
will
standards
they
they
will
want to
deny
see
you.
before
They
we
will
can get the
deny you.
grant.
You can
and
apply, but they
they won't even, I know,
Going back in your
okay.
face.
And they're not necessarily saying everything has to be fixed.
No, but they want to see improvement,
They're gonna,
right?
they've got to have some kind of basis to give it to you. And like I said, the Public Service Commission, if you go in there and tell them, well, it's costing me $10,000 to produce 1 million gallons of water, and we're only charging 9, I got to
Yeah.
get it up to 12. They look at your stuff,
Right.
and they say 80% of your water is going out on the ground. They'll say, your production cost can be cut in half if you don't send the water to
Right.
them. So we're not going to give you a rate increase.
I just want to clarify, make
We're
sure
not
that
gonna
my
fund
thinking
your
is what he just said.
Lack of
Yeah.
Okay.
And since you got, and
Diligence.
since, and from my knowledge, since there's not a correct audit on
Right.
file
Right.
for the plant,
We can't do anything without the audit,
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
Well,
Okay.
My whole
Well,
thing,
I mean, a good
has
audit.
been,
Yes.
you got to fix these
Acceptable.
damn leaks in order to know
Gotta
where you're
fix
at.
leaks.
so
Or
there,
you got,
there's
or
three
you
really,
gotta
like I
have,
said, there's three
or
major
you may have
things
to go out and put some
that
stuff
will
in
really
place
help
in
you.
the system.
And it's like
where
I
you
told
can
them when they
figure
came and
out
met
what
me,
Yeah,
we got the
monitor.
city under the order.
Well, even
Yeah.
just
Having an order
the targets
can
on
be
the
helpful
tanks.
because
Exactly.
if you're going to those
Well,
meetings
we
saying,
got
hey,
elected.
we're under an
Yeah.
order, we have
Well,
these deadlines.
he said
And we've done this and this and this, we're working on this and we're trying to do that.
It's just one more thing.
You know how to use
move
it.
everybody
I'm
in the
going to
right
be
direction.
writing a letter to the Carolyn
people-
Daily,
most
and I'm
people
going to
do.
tell the real story about who found the leak and who fixed the leak. I've already told Carl that I intended on doing that. That was me that found that leak with the leak detector. That wasn't Paul Miller.
And you,
I know.
Paul
gotta.
We
wanted us
know.
to dig
Well,
up by the factory.
I know that.
So
And the people know that.
Why were we not told when I had been complaining all the time about purchasing one, and then all of a sudden I find out we got one?
I didn't know we had one at the time either. It was at the sewer plant.
They're different though, aren't they?
Well,
I
this-
mean, isn't this one like taking what my understanding, and I could be wrong, what I saw and what I read about them, there are, just like vehicles, there's
There are better
tools.
units, yes.
There's like taking a pin light and trying to do a job that a strobe light needs to do.
But a pen light's better than
Well-
if you have nothing, a pen light's better than a strobe light.
and
Does it go
You gotta use
underground
you
is what
got,
I'm
don't
trying
you?
to say.
You listen for the sound,
Yeah.
you know, but you have to be, I mean, you listen to water meters, you listen to valves, you
Right.
listen to fire hydrants. You know, this one that we looked up at Miller, So this leak's been up there for 2 years coming out the side.
Williams,
Exactly on the side. Williams, yeah.
up on New York Hill.
And
I was gonna ask you
I
about the
couldn't-
New York Hill tanks. What's the deal with them? If they're back where they need to be?
Yeah, they're back with it.
We can go up
Yeah.
there. We can run up there now.
I might
I
stop
thought I
at
had
my
that
house
thing
and get a nice
pinpoint. I
Coca-Cola.
even had Bill listen to it. And okay, after lunch we start right here. We dug down 10 feet. Nothing. We went over. Still, we went down as low as where the water's coming out. But see, it's all backfield, and it's rock. You know, just rock. It could be coming from anywhere. But, you know, I found 3 leaks on Scott Avenue with it last week.
Hey, Chris.
They fixed 7 leaks already.
Mayor said you've got a company coming out helping you guys, consulting company. for the
Monarch.
leaks. Yeah, it must be Monarch. What's the deal with 80%? Is it the distribution system now?
Well, it'd have to be because the tanks aren't overflowing. Now,
So you think your lines are just flowing because of pressure? Or you think it's just maybe one major line?
I think there's tons of leaks out there, personally. I mean, if your tanks aren't overflowing, it's got to be leaks, you know. And just like that one yesterday. I mean, normally you can get right on top of one because you see the water coming out, you know. But we tried the aquascope and could have swore we heard it. It sounded just like the one did up there, you know, in Blair, but wasn't there, you know. So, of course, now we have to get a permit by the state to get an easement. But yeah, I think it's the system, you know. I've not actually totaled up the meter readings, you know. So, well, time for one thing, running out of time to do everything I got to get done.
Y'all
But,
still on the same shift schedule?
excuse me?
You're still on the same shift schedule?
Yeah.
And then just FYI, when you get a leak detector, I would not want to have to come put it in my hands and come and go find these leaks. It takes some experience of
Yeah.
working them, learning what they sound like.
Have some training.
And you got to remember too that you might have 50 miles of line.
Yeah.
And it's like,
What
looking
you're
around,
hearing.
where do I start? You may need some meters put in places. I don't know.
Yeah.
You may need tools put in there to where they can valve off or use meters or do
Gauges.
something to tell them, hey, most likely it's in this area. This gives us somewhere to start.
Yeah.
Do you have it?
And evidently, he says from the way the plant's designed,
But, you know,
that initial holding
probably-
tank,
London's
that
got
is
more
how it
plans.
should be,
Oh,
that color.
Well,
Because
Okay.
it's not aerating it and, you know, it's
Okay.
not
They could've
activated
did
sludge
half the one
because
for
it's
what
then
costs to do
going
this
to this
improvement
tank
and
where the
they back
bacteria is
down.
actually eating.
Eaten.
Right.
So, okay.
So yeah. So
Okay.
what I told you earlier about how that milky chocolate
Yeah.
brown color, evidently from what he was saying, is the way
Okay.
the plant's designed.
Yeah.
That is how it should
They
be.
Okay.
designed them, but I've
Okay.
seen
So I just
Got
want to
this
make sure you
100-year-old
Okay.
plant.
I'd put it in.
When did they, you remember?
Folks have now, do you? I know you got the operator.
Just me.
Has anybody got
I got a
questions?
boy here that helps me, but he ain't got no license.
Have you got anybody questions? Like,
Nope.
I didn't think so.
Chris doesn't have any?
No.
I didn't remember. I was thinking that was the other thing. Is anybody planning on going to be tested for that?
Well, I offered to, and they wanted me to pay for it out of my pocket. And I said, nope, I ain't gonna do it.
What's wrong with that?
How much does it cost? Do you
I don't know what it costs, but I offered to go take it. But the thing about it, I was told.
Carol, the number I gave you for
Yeah.
DCA, they do all the certified operator training. You can call them
Okay.
and find out.
I would say it would probably be less than $100 to do the testing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would
His
say
biggest
so.
cost would be getting him up there. And
The room and board?
You got,
And then you gotta do training.
3 days.
Wonder how.
3
you,
days?
you gotta take. The last time when I went and got my food truck license,
About that on
I had to pay for my motel, had to pay for my own gas, and everything. And I passed the test, they reimbursed me. But
How
the
long-
time before that, I paid for all that. I didn't pass the test, and it's just money out of my pocket. So I ain't gonna do it.
And I'll tell you honestly, that's highly unusual. Usually systems will pay for their operators to take the test and pay for it.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask.
Regardless.
When was this? Because you remember when, in January 1st, 2011, the city was $300,000 in immediate debt with no
Well,
money in the bank account.
Well, your dad even asked me about it, and he asked me, would I want to go take this test? I said, if the city will pay for it, I'll go take it. But what he said was, I'll think about it.
it.
And that's why it's good.
And that's the last I heard.
And to be honest with you, between us, probably not overpaying the folks here.
No, I know.
we
They're
will.
not.
So
realize
$200-300
that.
out of their pocket is probably a concern.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and that's been discussed. The pay, you know.
But
it
see, the one that needs the collection license is the one that's the outside boss. It's really the one that needs that, ain't it?
It's the one that needs it, but if you've got them, then you
Right.
meet the standard.
Yeah.
We're talking about a violation of the standard versus not having one.
Right.
Because I ain't gonna get excited who's got them.
And
as long as somebody's
y'all
got
do
'em.
realize y'all are in enforcement for the
Yeah.
wastewater plant.
Yes,
too.
I understand.
Okay.
I do.
Them samplers license, are they to get samples or they to work on sewer lines?
The sampler's license, what do you mean? The laboratory stuff they're
No,
talking about?
that license you're talking about.
The collection system?
Right.
That's to oversee the
Yeah,
operation
when
of the
it was so
collection system.
You know what I mean?
If you've got a collection system, somebody there at the facility
Zero
is
back.
supposed to be a
Yeah,
licensed,
but
certified
I know it
licensed
had by law, but
collection person.
that's the reason
Well,
why
see,
I
I
asked
thought
him
that
when
it
he told that.
was working on the sewer lines. What you did that. That's why I was asking you.
To work on the sewer line.
Yep.
You don't have to have a license to work on them, but somebody has to have a license at the system to make sure that oversee the work,
Right.
that it's done right. Every person that turns a wrench doesn't have to have a license.
Just like a certified electrician, as long
like
as they're
he's got
there
a-
on the job.
It's like he's got a helper that helps him work the plant.
Yeah,
His helper doesn't have to have a license to help him do his job.
right.
You gotta have
As long
somebody
as he's got
that's
a
certified to
license,
work.
he
He's
can
fine.
oversee it.
That's like a pharmacist. The
Right.
pharmacist is in there, anybody pays pill out.
But
as long
see,
as
me
he's
and
there.
Mark went and tried for them samplers license. Mark got his. He made a 80 something. I made a 69. I failed it by 1 point.
I think I can
And then
remember you
after
telling me
that, then Mark, after he got his, I said, Mark, you want me to go back? That's when Loretta was mayor. I said, you want me to go back and try for mine? He said, no, that's all we
Well,
need
he
is
met
one
the
of them.
standard then. I mean, once you had somebody, you met the standard.
Yeah, but I should have went anyhow, you know. But
It would've been
but
good.
he told me no.
I mean, that's something you need here. You need to get that. And it's not something,
Easy to get.
well,
It's not easy to get. Believe me.
if I was
No.
a judge here in your case and my operator told me that he just couldn't go because he didn't have the money to pay the $300 and the city refused, I wouldn't be real happy with the city.
That's the reason why
Just me personally.
I was asking when you were told that, because I know, if you don't, if the city doesn't have $300 in a bank account to send you,
Yeah, then they couldn't do
then
it.
we couldn't do it. So, and I'm not saying that we still need to meet the laws, because you do have to follow the
Like I
laws.
said, Carl said, I'll think
Yeah.
about it.
Have you asked him again?
But he might have talked to Chris about going and getting his. I don't know.
Hey,
You know what I'm
Chris.
saying?
But it's just something they need to do.
Have
Yeah.
you been talked to about going and getting a collections license? Well, when you going?
That's why you.
Next month, hopefully, they accept my application.
Oh, so you have put an
You have
application
applied?
in?
Okay.
That's
good.
why he
Well,
never-
that's progress
That's probably
then.
why he never got back to me.
There's your progress, all right.
That explains why he didn't
That's
come
why
Yeah.
he didn't get back to you. He's just gonna let him go ahead and get our dial.
No, he's outside the boss. He needs some more than I do.
But kind of like we talked before, about how you have multiple certified, it's always good to have backup.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
Now, what would happen if Chris
Yeah, 'cause-
decided he wants to
Well,
go
that's what I
to
started
Kentucky
saying.
American next week?
Yeah, that's what I started
Now
saying.
you don't
I mean,
have
you know,
collection
yeah.
license, you don't.
Like Mark did. Like Mark did.
I'm just saying.
If they don't run me off, hell, I'll be here.
Well, I'm just saying, if I was the city, I'd have more than one person. I'm just like that.
It'll take millions to fix the water in the sewer plant, isn't it?
No, not to get it operating.
No, I'm talking about to fix it the way it's supposed to
If
be.
you wanted to update it, yeah.
Man, this
Okay.
is good.
If you wanted the new state-of-the-art sewage treatment plant, yeah, it's millions.
I mean, just getting it back, because
Just to
Monarch.
get it back to where they're at, to this is operating properly, no.
Well, now I know Monarch said that, they came to the council meeting and talked and all this stuff, and that's what they're talking about. They came in, they're doing a survey of what
Yeah.
we need to get done to get it back to the way.
I mean, like if he needs to get new pumps to fix his rates.
Right, that's
What's
what
new
they.
pumps? 50,
Yeah.
75,000 should be tops. are they that high?
Shouldn't be that.
They shouldn't be that high. I would think 5 or 10, but I say more because the time the engineer gets a hold of it,
I'm not
it
sure.
becomes 50 or
They
70,000.
got a price from CL, but I don't know what it was. CL Box.
I just don't know when he's going to give that report,
Yeah.
Monarch or any of them,
Yeah.
on,
I mean-
on what needs to be done just to put, what do they call it, a Band-Aid, or get it back
Yeah.
operating.
Well, Cole, I made Cole a list of everything. He's
Yeah.
got the list of everything that needs to be fixed.
Well, I guess what you do is you go by priorities. You wait.
Well,
till-
he's
to
got a
see what
priority
They
list.
say is your first
Exactly.
priority, and
Well,
then that's
down
what
here,
they
That's
go
why,
them
after.
yeah,
pumps.
that's why I'm